Welcome back, everybody, to 31 2000s horror movies for Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from 2000 to 2009. So, at number 28, we had a fun horror movie. At 27, we have something disturbing and depressing. So, at number 27, we have the very, very messed up killer kids movie, Eden Lake.
No, that's not even a proper cut. Deeper. Deeper!
This movie hurts. Don't get me wrong, Eden Lake is a great movie, but it hurts. It's a very, very fucked up movie, very bloody, and like I said, just overall disturbing. There were a lot of great disturbing movies from the 2000s, but Eden Lake, yeah, it's a killer kids movie, and it's one of the most intense, one of the roughest killer kids movies to watch. So, that's what it is. It's a killer kids movie. You have this young couple going on a vacation to this lake known as Eden Lake. They run into a bunch of preteens who are psychopaths. One thing leads to another, and they end up having to fight for survival while trying to get through these woods without these kids wanting to kill them. But yeah, these kids are sadistic. I mean, take any bully from a Stephen King movie, multiply that by 10, and then insert some serial killers into it, and you have the kids from Eden Lake. But like I said, this movie is rough. There are a lot of intense moments. There are a lot of really messed up moments. Like this is a movie that's not afraid to have kids die. As you would expect, it's a killer kids movie. But they are not afraid to... Not only are they not afraid to have kids die, they're not afraid to have kids die violently.
Are you even gonna fuck back here? Also burn him!
But what makes Eden Lake so good is its simplicity. I love complex movies, and I love complex horror movies, but I do think that there's an artistry to simplicity, and a lot of times when you want to make a good, scary, suspenseful movie, simpler is better. Like I said, I love complex ideas, and I love complex ideas in horror movies, but simplicity can work so many times. And that's what we have here. It's a very simple movie. It's a young couple being terrorized by this group of sadistic kids. Yeah, it's not much more than that, but it doesn't need to be more than that. And it's so violent, and it's not flashy violence like you would see in a lot of fun slasher movies. The violence in here is just realistic and raw, and sometimes that's some of the best violence you can have in movies. When you have just raw violence, it can be so much more hard-hitting. There are quite a few scenes where you wince. Like, they are so painful to watch that you just kind of go back in your scene and go, ow. And these kids are not villains that you like to watch. You hate these kids. You want to see bad things happen to them. And because, admittedly, yeah, they are kids, but they are sadistic. But it's like, these are perfect villains. Like, we don't hate them because they're annoying. We hate them because they're good villains. Like, these are villains we want to hate. We want to see these people get away from these kids. We want to see them get their comeuppance. Especially the lead kid. The lead kid is so goddamn sadistic. And there are scenes where you don't think it's going to go there at first. You think, oh, it's okay, they're not going to go this far. But then they go that far, and you're just watching with your mouth open as it goes that far, and then it goes even further. And of course, the ending, I don't want to spoil the ending. Like I said, this is not a movie where you want to spoil the ending. It's best you watch it for yourself. But it is the kind of movie that after it's over, you just kind of sit there for a moment. You know, it's one of those movies that when it ends, you can't speak, you can't really move. You just gotta kind of sit in the feeling that it gives you after it ends. I remember when I first saw this movie and it ended, I didn't stand up for a minute, but when I stood up, I just kind of paced around the room a little after it ended because of how intense the whole thing was.
Turn it off, you fucking bitch!
This is a very disturbing movie. It's not the most disturbing movie you will ever see, but I will say it's one of the most disturbing killer kids movies. This is a movie that's not for everyone. It does get rather intense. You could put this into the category of extreme horror. But I would think that it's extreme horror, but on the lighter side of extreme horror. Yeah, on the lighter side of extreme horror. I'd say that this is a good introduction to extreme horror. If you're someone who's just starting to get into more extreme horror movies and you want to check something out, I think Eden Lake is a good introduction. It's still extreme, it's still hard-hitting, but it's a good starting point for people who are diving into more extreme horror movies. Like I said, it's not the most extreme horror movie you will ever see, but it is on the more extreme side. And like I said, it's a good introduction to extreme horror. But yeah, Eden Lake, one of the most fucked up killer kids movies you will ever see. Very good. If you watch it, be ready to just kind of soak in some bad feelings. You're gonna remember this one. When this movie ends, you're gonna have a hard time forgetting about it. I guarantee that.
Bro, I can't fucking do this, man. She's alive.
Right, and he's dead. We did him.